Good Friday! Okay, name that movie in the comments. Shit.
As you guys can guess, I would not know what movie it is because I probably fell asleep by that point.
Okay, you guys, today's Friday. As you know, we have special guest interviews on Friday, so we should just get right into it. What do you say?
Yeah.
Liz Martini is a true champion, being in the ENS community for over a year, and she has already made a complete 360-degree shift in her body and her life. She went from wearing a size XXL and weighing 226 pounds to wearing small, medium, schmedium, and weighing 155 pounds. On top of that, she became a functional fitness machine who can lift weights, push herself off the ground with ease, and runs half marathons. In the short amount of time on her journey, she has already inspired multiple people in her life to take charge of their bodies and their lives. And today she will inspire you too. That was good, huh? Give it up to me! This is ridiculous. Liz Martini, welcome to the party! Woo! Gosh, and thanks to L-Dub for the prop.
That is awesome.
I call this the most extravagant intro yet.
That made me
We're making
nervous.
History over here.
That made me nervous. I felt like pressure to perform.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, stoked
Happy
to have
to be
you here. I mean, you know, not only are you just an incredible human being, and, you know, in the short amount of time that, you know, we've gone to know you, you feel like an absolute homie, you know, in so many ways. So obviously super excited to have you here. Super excited to, you know, share your story with you guys. Some of you guys probably know who Liz Martini is. If you don't, you will know her. But truly, I mean, you've already done so much, and, you know, your future is really bright. And today we're just going to have like a, you know, real raw conversation because that's how we roll. So, you know, we're definitely going to be talking about where are you heading, but let's talk about Liz of 1 year ago. Wasn't it just exactly around a year ago when you entered our community? Like, what was life back then? Like, where were you? Yeah, we talked about your size, we talked about your weight, but where were you in life?
I was a pretty, you know, shy individual. You know, I had confidence, but not a whole lot. I was, you know, pretty marshmallowy. I think Erin has used that term before.
Really?
Not towards me, but, you know, just describing. But you know, I didn't have a whole lot of confidence. And I think it was like October 12th was the first day of Raw, but like October 8th, like a little bit before that, I stumbled upon the Rise Above, you know, workouts and everything. And that's where I started. So yeah, it was pretty much a year ago. But yeah, I wasn't, you know, in any kind of shape at all. And just on a roller coaster of a weight loss journey and everything. My heaviest being 245. Obviously I started at 226 with you guys. So I lost a little bit of weight and, you know, tried a couple different programs and stuff like that just really didn't give me the motivation that I needed, until I found you guys. So that's where I was at.
What was the difference too? Because I think this is helpful for people, because motivation is one of those things everybody is like, I'm not motivated, or I lose motivation, or so like, okay, we understand like there's a certain amount of self-motivation somebody has to have, but in the beginning, it's really beneficial when somebody else is there to help you be motivated. For you, what was the difference, and what was the thing that really helped you stay motivated, so it can maybe help other people to figure out what can help them stay motivated?
The community that you guys have created. I mean, honestly, like the raw program and everything in general was just the biggest like motivator ever. Seeing other people like on the same journey and having the same struggles and everything, it really made you feel like you weren't alone. You know, you guys always say that, don't do it alone, and having other people like on the journey with you is extremely motivating. I actually was thinking about this because I'm like, no other program that I've done has ever given me the motivation that you guys and your team has created. It's just the whole community, and even the coaches like having their own transformation, you know, stories and stuff. You two, like just being like super real and authentic. The authenticity is insane. So that's I think where it came from, is the authenticity.
But what did you have? Okay, so this is good, not but, because that's what I was looking for. But what did you also have to do? Because somebody else can give you as much motivation as they want, but there's still something that you need to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's still ways that you have to show up and things you have to do.
I know.
Hold on. I don't even know what your questions are. I'm totally just like sidestepping Sarit because she makes all the questions, but these are very much off the cuff. What did you have to do in order to actually receive that motivation?
Can I guess?
Sure.
It had to have been Boogie's Kakamanjaro. Had to be Kakamanjaro.
Kakamanjaro, man. Woo! Bringing it back to birds.
What you know about that Kakamanjaro?
The burn zones, I mean, just they are amazing. Like you guys just in the videos, the authenticity. I'm probably gonna say that. Tracy. She's in the next room, by the way, watching. So
we do it all the time.
I want to give a shout out to Tracy real quick. Tracy, you win #1 most supportive wife.
I wish this had a cheer button. Woo!
Fire. Okay, anyways, keep going.
Anyways, so yeah, burn zones, the burn zone workouts were, they're so motivating, just like doing one after the other, and just, you know, you guys and the general, the camaraderie you have, the banter, you know, Boogie and everything, like all of it is just, that's 100% the motivation. There he is. I think I'm about to have a visitor too. So,
oh, amazing.
Of course, show us your
Get
butt,
your
please.
ass out of here.
It's never a real call without a.
Yeah, here you go.
A castle. You see what I did there? Okay, but what did you have to do? Like you can, okay, but somebody still has to like wake up and they have to decide to turn the video on and do the stuff, right? So like what did it take from you on your end? And maybe what were some of the like challenges that you had to like overcome to keep like wanting to show up, or what?
So just changing my routine, you know, my whole routine, not, you know, I work out at night, which all of you know, man, I'm sorry, buddy. So I work out at night. So just changing my routine up and, you know, making sure that I get home from work, you know, at a decent time, and just really motivating myself to be like, okay, I need to push through and get this workout done. And, you know, 9 p.m. is my workout time. Creating a routine in that way, and, you know, getting it done. Cause your guys's burn zones were like 52 minutes. So I knew that, you know, I would spend an hour basically, working out between, you know, the warm-ups and the whole workout, and then the cool down and everything afterwards. You know, just changing my routine and just knowing that, you know, just basically changing a routine. You know, that was my biggest motivation. Yeah, I really couldn't wait to see what it was. And then, you know, my sister and I actually had this conversation, because she's like, I know it's a Tuesday, you know, Tabata Tuesday. And I'm like, I never really got that whole like routine and concept down. Like I never realized that it was Tabata day, or that it was like AMRAP day. And I was like, oh my God, AMRAP is terrible.
Day. Yeah.
I never got that. And I did the burn zones consistently on the days that you guys did them, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, like all the way through, 100% consistent through the entire 8 months, and never realized that it was Tuesdays was Tabata Tuesday and AMRAPs were, I don't even know, like.
We explain it. You've done such a tremendous job. I'll let Sarit have some questions.
Yeah. So from what I know of you, like when you can tell when somebody's just ready. Like there's just a completely different like way of execution. What, like, can you remember the moment, or maybe it was a series of moments where you're like, okay, like it's time to change what's going on? What was that moment or series of moments like, or what led to that?
I think honestly, like that first week of Raw and setting goals, the goal setting and stuff is just, 100%. Like, I'm like, I've never really, I mean, I've set goals in my life, but I've never set like a SMART goal. I've never set a goal to be like, this is what I'm going to do in a year. This is what I'm going to do in 6 months, 3 months, 8 weeks. And that whole concept of just setting goals and being motivated to get to that point and enjoying the journey on the way, which is very hard, by the way, enjoying the journey sometimes. But I think just that setting the goals, I mean, that phone call that I got from Crystal encouraging me to join Raw and stuff. And she's like, it's going to change your life. And I was like, but is it? Is it?
Everybody says that.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know. I was very like wishy-washy and stuff, but then I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Like I enjoy the Rise Above, workouts that you guys created and stuff. And, basically took a leap, and oh my God, I'm so glad that I did.
Okay. So you've mentioned Raw a couple of times. So for those of you who don't know, the Raw is an 8-week transformation program that we have. It stands for Real Authentic Weight Loss. And very much we believe it's not about the weight that you lose, but who you become in the process, if you haven't heard us say that yet. And that program is very much about looking at every component of your life that has an impact on the weight loss results that you get or don't get. And it really, truly is transformative. So now if Liz ever refers back to the Raw, that's what she's talking about.
Yeah, and we're actually undergoing Raw right now.
Week 3?
Yeah, we're finishing up week 3. Incredible. So you've said a couple minutes ago that it felt like a roller coaster ride with things that you've tried in the past. Like, what do you mean when you say a roller coaster ride, and how have the programs in this community been different than others? Like, what were the biggest highlighting points?
So Rollercoaster Ride, I mean, like I literally would start something and be super motivated like the first couple weeks and then just fall off. I did daily burn for a little while. That's where like you do there's like daily workouts and stuff. I enjoyed those for a bit, but then I realized like the person that was running the workouts and stuff, they really wouldn't work out with you. It would just be like the 2 or 3 other people in the studio. And I'm like, I'm not really as motivated as much, so that was probably that actually lasted probably a couple months. And then I tried Noom for literally a hot minute. That like they are on mindset and stuff like that, but it wasn't as like really like raw and authentic as your guys' mindset and what you guys preach and everything. It was totally different shift. It was all through an app and stuff, so it felt very impersonal. And, I did I got this food, I don't know. I found it randomly online. It was like $10 or whatever. And basically told you exactly what to eat and gave you meals and stuff to eat, which I did that, and I lost like 10 pounds in like 2 weeks or something like that. It wasn't sustainable. So then just stumbling upon you guys on that very cheesy ad that you guys have and stuff, where you're like, Sarit's like pumping iron and she's doing the weights and stuff, and she's like, you gotta be motivated, fool, or something like that. It was just
Look how jacked I got.
I literally scrolled past that ad like 4 different times and finally watched it. And I was like, who are these two? They've got a rainbow flag in the background. Like, these are my people, let's try it. So I clicked the link and really just joined the 14-day Rise Above. I bought the first burn zone. And, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the Rise Above. I got through like 4 days of Rise Above. I'm like, I'm tired. Like, I'm so sore. And just the motivation of that, and your guys' workouts and the burn zones and stuff like that, that's where it finally clicked that I can do this. I can really do this because I've got you guys like cheering me on, and then joining Raw and stuff, and just the Facebook group, and just knowing that there's other people out there like me that are struggling just as much, and we're rising above it. So that's where the Rollercoaster Ride came from. So just all the weird programs I did before and stuff, the sustainability of your guys's program and what you put out there is it. Like, it's so sustainable. That's like the number one thing, is sustainability.
The bee's knees.
Yeah.
The bee's elbows. Looking back at the Liz of a year ago, what would she has hoped to achieve based on all of the experience that she had going into this?
You mean like my goals? What were my goals? Or
like, not even your goals. Like, it's like, when somebody tries something so many times, they get to a point where they're like, it would just be nice if. I'm not even talking about goals. Like, like, what would it would be nice if, like,
what would you have like settled for in as far as results?
Being able to bend over and tie my shoes without losing my breath.
Wow.
Now your ass can do some handstands.
Yeah.
Can you tie your shoes while doing a handstand?
Not yet.
Challenge accepted.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. Okay, so that is what you would have just hoped to achieve. Now let's talk about, when you set your 1-year goals. Like, what things that you remember vividly you put on there?
To lose 50 pounds in a year. And to be in a size, I think it was like XL or something like that, because I was in a 2X or something. I really honestly didn't know like what 50 pounds less, like 50 pounds lighter looked like. So I had no idea like what size that looked like either. So it was really hard for me to like set goals, because when I was in high school, I remember I was at 170. And I don't remember what that looked like or what that felt like. And I had no idea like what was even possible. So I set 50 pounds for a year. And I think a size like large, extra large or something like that, to be in. And the 50 pounds I did in 8 months. So
where are you at now?
I am at 155.
So how much weight have you lost?
70, over 70, 71.
Come on now. And this is like your 1 year. 1 year plus what, like 2 weeks?
Yeah. That's 71 pounds. I think I was talking to a friend. She's like, that's like an 8 or 9-year-old. I'm like, can you imagine an 8 or 9-year-old on your back, like, and then like walking around with that?
Is it any wonder why you struggle to tie your shoes?
It's crazy.
I would struggle to tie my shoes with a 9-year-old on my back. For sure.
Me too. And I would just try to tuck its head so it wouldn't fall off.
I think most of us would actually just say, "Get off me."
Right.
Sure.
Which is what you did.
What else has changed for you?
My confidence. I have gained like so much confidence, and I don't settle. I don't settle for things anymore. I speak up. I've always been too honest for my own good. But I'm, even more like honest, and I speak up and everything, and just the confidence and, just the feeling of feeling good. And, my relationship with Tracy is like 100%, improved, like so much better and everything. Not that it wasn't good before, but it's like amazing now. And, just with the confidence and stuff, it's just hands down, that's 100% the biggest improvement.
So good.
It's tremendous. When we love ourselves, we're capable of loving other people better, because we cannot, as human nature, like we can, even if we think we can, it is really hard to love someone more than you love yourself, because you have to be number one. And like the fact that your relationship with yourself improves, all of your relationship. Have your relationship with your sister gotten better too?
Oh my God. Yeah. We're closer than ever. We were close before, but
that's not even a romantic relationship, right? Just a different kind of relationship. Has any other relationships gotten better in work or anything else?
Really my biggest relationships are Tracy and my wife, and then Trisha, my sister. So I mean, those are my biggest relationships. I'm not really close with my family too much, but I think my friendships and everything have gotten better. Just like you said, loving yourself and everything. Like I legit like love who I'm becoming and everything. So yeah.
Notice she said becoming. The journey is never over
until just getting warmed up.
So, I want to talk a little bit about some complexities that may come with the journey. Your relationships with your close people have improved. Did you have to forego any relationships?
I did actually. October of last year, I had broken up with a friend. And I actually was having issues before I even started like my, journey with Raw and everything. And I had to basically end a relationship that, was super negative in my life and everything. And it was hard. It was tough. Because I lost a cat around the same time. My sister lost one of her dogs around the same time. Man, that was a really rough week. That was actually like just a year ago, like on the 26th or whatever. So that was really rough. And I went through that I think that was like week 2 or 3 overall. And I still stuck with it. I used my sadness and anger and just all of my emotions to get through my workouts. I just used it within my workout and stuff. And it was such an amazing like release to do the workouts and just to be so motivated during that time. And then of course going through Raw, I can't recall like what week or 2 or 3 are with the homeworks and stuff, but it was just 100% like so motivating. So yeah, I did have to end a relationship during this journey and stuff, but that's pretty much been it. It was a big weight lifted off my shoulders. So other than that, I've, stuck with all of the other, relationships and friendships that I've had.
Can we get to that one?
You want to ask it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a question from the audience, which I think is super important. And if you won't mind answering that.
Oh, sure. Was I working out every day? No. I was doing 5 days a week. I did what you guys tell us not to, and I started from 0 to 100, and I had never worked out before, and I started with the burn zones. I did them 5 days a week, on the days that you all had recorded them, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday, Saturday. And Thursdays and Sundays, I were 100% rest days. I did maybe yoga here and there, but I'm not a fan of yoga because I can't move in some of the positions that they do. But I did, stretching and foam rolling and stuff on those days. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But Sundays, I think, was 100% like rest day and everything. And that was within the 8 months of burn zones. I was doing just the 5 days a week. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did.
And what was the one thing that you felt like helped you the most, as Andrea asked?
Oh, probably the support of my wife. 100%. Like, like you guys say, don't go it alone. Like, don't do it alone. Like, you have to have somebody there that you can lean on, whether it's someone virtual, through the group and everything, or, whether it's someone that you love, or a friendship, or it's an AP that you have through the programs and stuff, lean on someone. You can't go it alone. Like, she has been 100% the driving force and just a freaking phenomenal person. And sorry. But yeah, she's been with me the entire way. So
I love it.
Okay, what about this one?
Casey has a good question too.
Did I ever think I can't do this? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think 100% the burn zones is what, just like doing them one after the other and just getting it done and being like, okay, that's, one more step. Like, this is my goal, to do all 4 of them, get them done. Like, I can't do this. I don't think that ever really came across my mind. And I think it's mainly because I didn't look at the finish line. I looked at what I was doing in the moment.
Wow.
So good.
Wow.
Liz, I'm literally writing that down.
Yeah, the finish line was never in my sights. It's still not in my sights. Like, come on. The first 4 the 4 levels of burn zone and stuff. Yeah, like, there's a goal there, but just doing them like one day after another is what. Yeah, that was my biggest motivation. I don't think I ever thought I can't do this.
Do you have a question to add to that, or can I go?
You go.
So, I mean, you've obviously accomplished a lot, and you're like, it's not about the finish line. It's about, like, where I'm going next. Where are you going next?
Well, this weekend I have my first half marathon. So I have never done, besides, cause you guys, we do the 5K, the virtual 5K. I've been doing those since November. And I have never like run consistently before or anything like that. I started training back in June, with a friend of mine, Jess. She's the one that actually asked me to do it. She's been running for a really long time. I think this will be her 5th half marathon. And my friend Darsha is, in it too. But it's my first one. I've never done anything like super official as far as runs or anything. There she is. So it's so awesome. I have a 5K tomorrow. It's the Flying Pig 5K here in Cincinnati. And then, Sunday is the Queen Bee, half marathon. And the half marathons, the Queen Bee and the Flying Pig usually don't go on the same day. But oh my gosh, Coach L-Dub, she has helped me a lot too with my running and stuff. With her motivation and everything, she's been awesome. So that's this Sunday. They're going at the same time because of the pandemic and everything. They combined them together. But normally a Flying Pig like goes in May or June or something like that. So I'm super stoked, super excited. And just, yeah, I can't wait for it.
So good.
I totally got stuck because, just a side note, they're like, yeah, the pandemic, we're going to smush more people together in one event.
I know, right? Yeah.
That's beside the point. What was I was gonna answer.
I don't know, but there's something that I'm noticing. Like, you know, you can tell, like I said, you can tell when somebody's really ready, and you can tell when somebody's really committed. And transformation doesn't happen in isolation. And something that is very evident with you just right now, like, look at Liz's support system. Like, you become the top 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with. Liz, if you were to rate the 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as being supportive, 10 being couldn't have asked for anyone more supportive, 1 being like an absolute nightmare, where would you rate them and why?
Oh, 10 out of 10, 100%, 100%. Like,
does it make the journey fun? Does it make the journey easy?
Yeah, it makes it totally easy. Like, it's a routine now. It's just part of my routine and super easy. And yeah, the people that I surround myself with are 100% supportive.
What would you tell someone whose environment is not supportive, knowing what you know and having gone through what you've gone through?
You're going to struggle. They're going to struggle, unfortunately. But that's where you have to audit your environment, and you have to figure out like what's motivating you, what's good for you, what's positive. You like you said, you become the you become the people that you surround yourself with. And if those people are negative, or they're bringing you down, or saying harsh things and stuff, you're going to reflect that. Whether it's mentally, physically, or within your motivation and everything, it's going to be a struggle. So you gotta definitely cut the fat, literally and figuratively.
But Liz, it's hard.
It
is hard. No, it is 100% hard. That friendship that I had, back in October, it was super hard to do that. It was one of the hardest things I ever done. But you have to find somewhere inside of yourself to do it. I mean, if you want to be a happier and healthier person, like, you have to dig somewhere deep inside of you and figure out what's important to you. And it's hard. It's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done, but you're going to be 100% so much better on the other side.
What do you think is harder, not being able to tie your shoes and breathe, or cutting the cord with something that, is not helping you to move up?
I think cutting the cord, because it gets you out of your comfort zone, and we all like to be comfortable. So it's uncomfortable to, cut people loose, especially if there's somebody that's been in your life for a long time, or, you think that they're going to change. I think that's harder. Obviously not being able to breathe is difficult, but, in a way you can't breathe if you have someone bringing you down.
What advice would you give someone to give them that perspective?
Reach out to someone that's a positive force in your life. Reach out to someone in the community. If you're within any of the programs and stuff, reach out. Grab a coach, grab an AP, someone that's going to motivate you, that's going to give you the tools to be able to, cut the cord. You can't do it alone. Like, I mean, at some point you do have to like be the one that does it, but if you have someone in your head telling you this is correct, this is right, this is good for you, it's going to help you 100%.
Mhm.
Same as if you have people in your surrounding that are legitimately cheering you on, not kind of cheering you on, but then offering you pizza every Friday night. Like that's somebody who may be well intended, but is not being supportive in some way, right?
Yeah.
Is you always like very much lately you have inspired so many like thoughts, and one of them I had shared with you a couple weeks ago. We had a conversation, and I want to share this one too, and I want to make sure that everybody knows it was inspired by you, because if it shows up on an Instagram post or something like that, this was inspired by Liz. But it's hard to cut relationships that we don't need because people have feelings. You are also a people, remember that. Like you
Yes.
are also a people and you also have feelings. So is it more like if you're feeling a certain way in a relationship and it feels like it's there's resistance or tension, or it's holding you back from really feeling like you can step into your greatness and take the action that you know is going to move you forward in the direction you want to go in life, then reevaluate that relationship. And yes, it's going to be hard to cut it because people have feelings, but you're also a people. So that matters too. And which one matters more? Because at the end of the day, who goes to bed with you every night?
Who do you have to live with every day?
Every day, guaranteed. Yeah.
Are you excited for the goal setting workshop at the live event?
I am. Yeah, I am. I totally am.
Another year, baby.
I know that you're gonna like gain a way bigger insight. By the way, for those of you guys listening, we do have a live event coming up. It's in fact 3 events combined in one. Liz, I'll get back to you too what we talked about last night a little bit later today. But yeah, if you want to check it out or learn more about it, go to improviesolutions.com/shebang. Would love to see you there as well. What programs were you in with all things ENS? Are you in?
So I was in Raw, that, the October Raw of last year. And then joined UTA after that because I couldn't lose the, momentum that I had going. I was like, I got to keep going. And so I've been in the UTA since December of last year. And then I joined Raw again in January because my sister started taking notice, because I posted a Flex Friday pic on my personal page, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "ENS, baby," So I, introduced her to the community and everything. She jumped right into Raw. I think she did the TKC, which I've only done the TKC once. I was not, that was back in, was that June? Not this last time, but the time before.
Tasty.
And so I was in Raw in January, and then I did it again in the summer to basically keep my motivation going while I started training for a half marathon. But I joined in January to support my sister, to be there for her and be her AP. And then the summer's Raw, I joined TKC, or did the TKC challenge, and met my current AP, one of my APs, Connie. And, we connected and stuff. We talk on Marco Polo every day. And I joined Raw and, helped her through that journey. And it was her first time doing it. So I did Raw again a third time. And so I've been doing like UTA and the Raw, and then, training and stuff, but those are the programs that I did. I did Rise Above. I only did like the first 4 days of Rise Above. But
how is the UTA different from the Raw, and who would
What's the UTA?
Ultimate Transformation Academy.
Ultimate Transformation.
All these acronyms. How are those programs different, and who would you recommend each program for?
The Raw is basically like, I would say anyone, that's your starting program. you know, and that's where you basically get into the nitty gritty of your environment and your mental state and everything, and altering that, because it's not just about the workouts or nutrition. It's also about what's up in here and what you tell yourself. And you guys, you know, really truly motivate all of us to really evaluate like how you talk to yourself and what you say to yourself, and, you know, your environment and whatnot. So that's where the raw is where I would say to start. I know you only offer it every so often. So it's one of those things, like when it comes up, you got to jump on it. And then the UTA is, that's more for, I feel like, people that are self-motivated. You do have access to a coach for a little bit. I think you have the ability to do that longer term. But the UTA would definitely be for someone who's way more self-motivated, that doesn't really need a whole lot of like push from coaches and stuff, or needs somebody to really reach out to all that often. I mean, you can have an AP, you have the community Facebook group and stuff like that. But UTA would be for those who are more self-motivated, which was who I was. And then I've never done the inner circle, but my sister's in the inner circle and she's thriving. And I knew that she needed the extra push at the inner circle that I've heard it gives, with, you know, having access to a coach and stuff like that. So she's done phenomenal with the inner circle. And, so that I would recommend the inner circle for those that need, I mean, really anyone. But in my book, I see inner circle as someone that needs extra motivation and needs that, you know, coach to really like reach out and mold their environment and stuff. And then UTA is the more self-motivated people. It's a lot of paperwork. So
yes, it is. Yes, it is. All the things to check off. And did you graduate from the UTA? Did you finish level 4?
I did not. No. I'm still technically like on level 2. But I kind of like took a decent hiatus because I've been training for this half marathon and stuff, but I still use the tools and everything that you guys put out there in the UTA. I mean, it's really just, it's all like routine and stuff now.
Right.
Just the idea.
Right.
Yes.
Right. That's incredible. And you are in the UTC, stands for the Underground Training Club. How is that different from the burn zone?
Oh my God, it's so different. So obviously I did all 4 levels of burn zone, and that's what, you know, let me into the UTC. So the UTC is really, really different. Obviously there's no Erin Sarit burn zone, you know, video to put on or anything, to basically just turn it on and do the workouts. It's a lot more like you have to read through everything, look at videos if you don't know like the certain movements or workouts or anything like that. And it was challenging at first. I think it probably took me a good like 2 weeks or 3 weeks to really get a routine down, to figure out like, you know, how I needed to do it and whatnot, or if I needed to do it earlier because there's running. And the app is just awesome, and the leaderboard and stuff, you fist bump people and interact with the community and whatnot that way. But UTC workouts have been pretty different. And I made a post recently where I was just like, man, there's something missing. So I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks now. I turn on espresso while I do my workouts and listen to you guys. And it's been like game changer.
Love that. Awesome. Love that. Well, maybe a part of the longer term vision is to have those recorded. It just requires a lot of equipment and space. So, you know, we're just taking it one day at a time, one step at a time. But, you know, really, this is kind of like a sneak peek. Not sure if I should share it, but whatever. Transparency is one of our core values.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just because there is movement in a lot of different things.
Yeah, it'll be a while. But
Yeah.
that's something that's on the radar, is even like
maybe some live UTC stuff.
Yeah. I've
Amazing.
seen you guys have gone live, while you're working out, just like totally authentic and everything. And it's one of my favorite things. Like when I see, I'm like, oh, they're live now. And Tracy and I watch together a lot of times. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So one last question for you. What would you tell someone who felt like they were in Liz's shoes a year ago, having tried a lot of things,
Being scared, being
heaviest they've
skeptical.
ever been, skeptical, think that, okay, this is probably how life is meant to be?
What would I tell that person?
What would be like the first step or something that you would tell them that would help inspire them to really take a step forward?
Stick with it. I mean, you're gonna get there. I mean, it's trust the process. Trust the 100% authenticity that you get from you all and your coaches and your team and everything. Like, it's just trust the process. Just keep doing it. It may feel like crap, in the beginning, and, having to drop your baggage and stuff, cutting the fat and everything, literally and figuratively, like, but it's going to be amazing. Like, just trust the process. Keep going. Keep going.
This is a taste. This is a taste that burns out.
Yep, basically.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I remember there was one where you were like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
The workout's so good. Liz, you're such like a bright and shining light in this community. It is truly a pleasure to have you part of the ENS Army, and everybody adores you. And I really believe that that's because, for one, you always have a great attitude regardless of what's going on, and you continue to show up, and your results have been really inspiring to other people who are feeling a little bit maybe hopeless for themselves too. And so you're a really big part of this community, and keep doing what you've been doing and keep moving forward, because more people are watching than you think. And you're really going to inspire a lot of people with your story. So
Yeah, you already are. And we are really looking forward to seeing you again in person in like exactly 2 months from now. You're one of the very few people who are at the very first live event. For anyone who is like, oh, maybe I should just, like wait to the next one. Like, just talk to us a little bit about what to expect from the experience of just once the community comes together live.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Like, it's like a freaking, it's a party. That first live that we went to, it was amazing. Like, it was a lot more intimate. And I feel like this one is obviously going to be like crazy, like celebration and stuff, workout and everything. But I also went to the She Moves Collective back in June at the X Endurance Summit and everything. And, the workouts were crazy, but that was so awesome. I held Erin's hand while we did one of the workouts and everything. It was so awesome.
Curtsy lunges.
Yes.
So
Yes.
good.
Oh my God. We were just like, what is happening? Like, it was so awesome. And to meet the people that you've been like interacting with online. I mean, not just you guys, but like, your the people within the community, not just the coaches, but just like the regular people or whatever, like the people like me that are going through, all of the motions and stuff. Like, it was just, it's awesome. Like, what more could you want than to, connect with the people that you've been connecting with virtually? It's going to be awesome. I've never been to Miami, Florida. I've been to Florida a few times, Disney and Orlando and stuff, but I've never been to Miami. And I got an Airbnb 2 seconds from the beach. So I'm like super stoked and just so excited. And if anyone is on the fence of going to the live, jump over that fence, man. It's going to be awesome.
Hi, Kat.
So looking forward to hanging with you once again. I mean, you are a true inspiration, and obviously we appreciate your trust in us after everything that you've been through, and we appreciate you for how you've led yourself to that.
Mhm.
It's not about the way that you lose, but who you become in the process. And like you said, you're absolutely becoming. So keep up the amazing work. Have a beautiful weekend. ENS Army, for those of you guys who are watching us live, thank you for joining us. Tracy, wife of the year, wife of the century.
100%.
Thank you for being so supportive. You guys really have something special, and it makes a difference for sure. You guys, if you found today's conversation inspirational, if you found Liz inspirational, and if you know that this will add value to somebody in your life who will benefit from hearing one or maybe 100 messages, please go ahead and share it. We are on a mission to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, lifestyle, and financial habits that have transformed ours. And Liz, it's because of people like you who really, bring even more clarity to us with regards to, the ability to achieve that, wild mission. So thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Liz Martini. That's good.
That is so good.
I could be an MC legit, but Liz,
I
on the
wonder
real,
who's gonna MC for shebang.
but for real, Liz, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself and showing other people that it can be done and it doesn't have to be super difficult.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Okay, see you in December.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.